Hi friends, welcome to the Ira Faith channel. I am Mayera and today I'd like to talk about the Monica Kimani case verdict. Since the court pronounced itself, there has been a lot of questions on the circumstances of the case and whether Jowie Irungu is innocent or guilty. This video's purpose is to break down the judgment point by point and attempt to help my viewers understand the court's point of view. Keep in mind that the entire judgment is 117 pages long, meaning that the court took time to consider each and every piece of evidence brought before it and to make sound judgment. We must also remember that for every point-to-point analysis and decision made by the court was supported by law, either case law or statute, and the court made sure to specifically state these laws and statutes. Also, as a disclaimer, please note that the views expressed in this video are not my own but the court's, except where I expressly state that they are my personal views. So let's begin. First of all, let's look at burden of proof. Beyond reasonable doubt and beyond a shadow of doubt. So we all know that the burden of proof in criminal cases lies on the prosecution. The prosecution must prove that the accused is guilty of the crime beyond reasonable doubt. But there is an exception to this rule, and beyond reasonable doubt does not mean beyond a shadow of doubt. The term beyond reasonable doubt means giving proof to a logical degree, meaning that if evidence of a crime is shown to a logical common person and by use of common sense, he or she agrees that the accused person is guilty, then the case is deemed to have been proven beyond reasonable doubt. This is why some jurisdictions use the jury system to prosecute criminal cases, because the members of the jury are usually common and ordinary people who are shown evidence and use common sense and reason to determine whether a person is guilty or not based on the evidence produced. They use reason to determine the case, and that is why the term reasonable doubt has the word reason in it. It is important to note that the requirement to prove beyond reasonable doubt does not mean proving 100%, meaning that if Jowie was accused of 9 acts that led to the murder and the prosecution only proves 7 out of 9, it means that the case has been proved beyond reasonable doubt, as the majority of the actions have been proved. The court was convinced that he was guilty as the circumstances of the case against him proved to her that Jowie had indeed committed the crime. And I will talk about circumstantial evidence and its application a little later in this video. But for now, let's continue with reasonable doubt. The court did not need a motive to convict Jowie, as it had been reasonably convinced that he committed the crime. I hope I'm making sense. Now let's move on to beyond a shadow of doubt. What does this mean and what does it require? Beyond a shadow of doubt requires proof to a perfect degree, which the court said was impossible and used case law to support this conclusion. To prove its case beyond a shadow of a doubt would mean that the prosecution had to prove that Jowie committed all 9 acts that led to Monica's death, including that he had a motive. But the prosecution's case was to prove beyond reasonable doubt and not beyond a shadow of doubt. These were the sentiments of the court. In cases where most of the evidence against an accused person is so strong, but there are only 1 or 2 possibilities in his favor, then the case against the accused is considered to be proven beyond reasonable doubt and he is found to be guilty. This is what happened in Jowie's case. Now let's look at how the prosecution proved its case beyond reasonable doubt.